A Passat with PCV fume smell. PCV system is over in this area, and the fumes come up. They migrate over here. They get past the seal, get into the fresh air intake, and you get an oily smell inside the vehicle. Consider it tune-up items. I would say every 5 to 8 years. Even if you don't have any problems with the PCV, go ahead and replace those parts. It's just a matter of time before they fail. The suction jet pump plugs up, the plastic elbow breaks, the hoses deteriorate, hoses collapse. So anyways, we're gonna take some stuff apart here so you can see how I do it. I leave the intake in place, and we'll go from there. Some of the cars have a PC breather puck here, and this one, the puck is over on this side. That one was replaced not too long ago. This is what vents your fresh air into the system. So yeah, don't forget the little puck. And like I said, sometimes it's over here. You don't have to follow this step by step the way I do it. There's many ways to do the things that I do. Obviously, consult the service manual. Otherwise, do what you have to remove what you want to remove, or remove what you have to remove in order to get at what you want to remove. I might actually have to put my headlamp on so we can see a bit under here, but most of the time you're just working by feel. You can sort of see the elbow down here and how oily it looks. You'll see better once I have it out. The hardest part is removing the clip if it hasn't been already removed before. And depending on the style of clip, this is a skinny clip, that one should be fairly straightforward to remove. You can use a long pry bar or screwdriver and just wedge it in and pop the clip loose. I can actually get my fingers on it. So there's a clip. Try to use magnetic trays or some kind of a tray to keep track of stuff. I've had it before where I've put bolts somewhere and they were just hiding in behind here, or even tools. I would change bits and it would lie like this and you'd never see it, and so I'm looking and looking and I can't find anything. So I'll definitely use a tray. Use a pick or a hose pick tool to work the hose free. And also just wedge it off. Disconnect this solenoid so we have some room to snake this thing out. Doesn't matter if you break pieces taking it out because you're replacing them. this guy fell apart here already. This is what I cracked, but it was obviously cracked before. You can see all this oily gunk, meaning that the oil vapors came out and then dirt sticks to it. Almost got the clamp off. Once the clamp is off, that hose, that T junction will just pull off. Need a special tool for that. This is a door panel trim tool. It should sit around the clamp so I can pry it. There we go. And then I can actually pry on the hose from this side. Hose pick tool, work it around the hose. Yeah, that freed it up really good. Almost off, come on. So this is the T-piece. This guy deteriorates. There's a check valve in here, and then this hose also is swelling, and you can sort of see the unevenness in thickness. So we're replacing all of those. It sits together like this. Hose clamp. Obviously you want to make sure that this tube, the one I'm leaving in place, that it is clear. So use a mirror and look into the inlet of that hose, or of the pipe. And down here, the remaining pieces on that elbow, we got to get out. And like I said earlier, it doesn't matter if it breaks. Use a shop vac to vacuum the remaining pieces out. That elbow has a brass support in the middle, so you just need to collapse it a little bit. There's a piece of the elbow. You can sort of see the brass piece. me see if I can get the O-ring out. O-ring is out. That can sometimes help free that piece. Alright, just about there. So this piece sits inside here just as a support. Now that we have all of this out, we take a shot back and go down that hole inside the engine block there, inside that breather housing, to remove any of those remaining plastic broken pieces. Do the same thing on that pipe. Okay, so that took care of most of those items. You can see in here, nice and clean. You can clean that area, you know, the area around the inside bore there, so that things slide in better. Just use a rag with a bit of brake clean on it. Aside from that, assemblies and reversal removal, fairly straightforward. Intake manifold can stay in place. If you have the time and whatnot, remove the intake. But again, not really needed. Just be careful, obviously, with where you root your hand. You know, what you move aside. Don't apply too much pressure. Stuff can break.